Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Hey folks, this is episode 154. This week we have Tommy Paris back on the show. But before we get to him, hashtag Vinnie Vincent implosion.
Hashtag we were right.
You know, I'm going to give Robert Fleischman some props because he made a post on Facebook today kind of sort of defending Vinnie without defending Vinnie. Well, he's basically, one of the excuses that they came up with was Vinnie was supposed to have the venue for a week so that the guys could jam together and get their shit together. And then it got knocked down to a couple of days, and then a couple of the guys in the band couldn't be there until the last minute, so they weren't going to have to get, I don't know.
You know what? Go to somebody's garage and practice for a week.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Well, I do it all the time.
You know how it is. But shout out to Robert Fleischman for keeping it classy. As for the rest of us, fuck you, Vinny.
I will say right now, any person who gives him another penny is a fool with his money.
They deserve exactly what they get.
Yeah. And anybody who still defends that man after this, you're a fool. I'm sorry, you're a fool. I don't care if you're a fan or whatever, you're a fool. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like I said, I posted on another person's page here a couple weeks ago. They were talking about the show, and I said it's not going to happen. And I mean, I caught 10 kinds of shit. Why is it not going to happen? Gave them, reason number one, reason number two, reason number three. Oh, you don't know nothing. Blah 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 blah. You don't know. It's like, you know what?
Is that your gloating face?
I'm number one.
That looked more like number two to me.
Those of you not watching. He was holding up your number one fingers.
Yeah. And the thing is, and I even said on that post, I don't hope any ill things against him or whatever, but, you can't go around and con people time after time after time. Hell, I even seen now that they said people who got meet and greets for this one in Nashville and paid and prepaid for tickets, you'll be getting your things back. Look for an email in mid-February. I was like...
February 9th or something like that.
Yeah. It's like, dude,
I don't know.
That money's spent. I'm telling you right now, it's gone.
Oh, that's what I said. I said, that's what I posted.
You'll get it.
You're not getting jack squat. Just like the box set.
You'll get it at the time you get your box set.
The same place the box sets. Good.
I hope that's the last that we hear from him.
Dennis.
I really do. I just hope he... Yes.
I see you have a different background, and you're enjoying a beverage. What's going on there?
That sort of worked.
That is the mountains, Youreville. I'm in the Napa Valley in California. I actually got out here on Saturday. We flew into Sacramento, and we drove down to Santa Cruz at night. We didn't get down there until almost it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. Got up the next morning. I visited friends or family in Santa Cruz. Then we went from there down through Big Sur, down the Coast 1 highway, down past San Simeon to a place called Cambria. Stayed there that night. Beautiful town. Had this little hotel, Fog Getters Inn or something. Saw the sunset on the beach, had a good meal, got up the next morning, went to San Simeon, toured that, did 3 different tours on that. We left there and drove up a different route up through another part of wine country. Just beautiful up through there. Drove all the way last night into San Francisco and actually stayed at a hotel right next to Fisherman's Wharf. I texted our friend who lives in San Francisco. You know who that is. And we were, damn it. Anyway, he answered me back. He goes, I said, we're staying out here. Am I safe? He said, man, some guy got their skull busted open. Or whatever. So Julian, he thinks that place is scary or whatever. So we got down there. It was great. I mean, we got down there. We walked down there on Fisherman's Wharf down that area. 8 o'clock at night. Had a good dinner. Walked around, no problems at all. Had a real nice hotel there. Got up this morning. Went first thing. Took the first cruise out to Alcatraz Island, which, oh my gosh, that was really cool. If you ever get an opportunity to go out there, definitely go. And got back from there, drove across the Golden Gate, and then up to here. It was about an hour and a half drive up to Napa. But we have had absolutely freeze your balls off. I just talked to my son. We were walking down. Actually, we had just went up on Lombard Street, that one street that curves back and forth. The car. We walked up that thing. I'll tell you what, that was a walk and a half. We just got done eating down at the wharf when we were coming up there. About wharfed my food back up. But anyway, we was walking down, and Max calls me. He's just getting off work. He goes, "It's so cold at home." I go, "Well, it's almost 60-something degrees here, and I got shorts and t-shirt." And he's like, basically give me a big F you, and that was it. So. But anyway, we're now in wine country and going to be doing wine and food and relaxation until Saturday, then flying back home. So a good trip. California is beautiful. I hadn't been here for a while. And
you went to the right part of California.
It is. It's nice up here. It's very nice. Traffic's not been too bad. I thought even coming into San Francisco would be rough. I mean, we have had basically no traffic. We've had great weather. Temperatures have been great. People have been just wonderful. The grass is green it's like springtime in Indiana. It's just beautiful out here right now. So, yeah.
Well, it is 60.
Yeah.
There's no grass here. It's all crap.
It's all ice.
Speaking of flying, today is, what is today? Today is Tuesday.
The 29th.
Tuesday the 29th. Tomorrow, Wednesday the 30th, as soon as I get off work, I'm going home, jumping in the car with my wife, and we're driving to Louisville, staying overnight in a hotel, jumping in an airplane early Thursday morning and flying to Miami for a couple of days, and then jumping on a cruise ship for about a week. So
it's awesome.
There will not be an episode for a week after this episode airs. So we love you guys, but you get a week off.
We're taking off.
We're taking a week off, hosers.
My traveling all happens in March and April.
Yeah. Hopefully I see today where Ingram died. Well, not Keith Ingram, but
James Ingram.
James Ingram died today, so that's sad.
Just pretty young. It was only 66.
I was surprised about that. I was surprised. Been around for a while.
He was very young.
Other than that,
Dennis is close to that.
Yeah, I'm getting there. And but no, I didn't realize
Halen is.
I didn't realize it was that young. But I don't really have anything music-wise. Anything else going on? It's been kind of slow. Like I said, I've been on the road and can't get any good radio stations out here. Though I tell you what, it's either no country music, but it's a lot of hip hop and Mexican music, and a lot of like there's a lot of stuff. It's like I'm sitting in Los Bravos or something. It's like I did find some classic rock stations.
Every time you look around, it might be a mariachi band breaking out. Be careful.
Yeah, no shit.
Just don't holler.
I got
for
a stupid rental car,
a
Chevy. Yeah, I got a Chevy Impala. Not a bad car, but
that's all they rent out there. That's what I got. Has no power. No power.
No power whatsoever. It looks good, and they don't have any kind of serious radio in there. What the hell's going on with that? Why don't they give you that to listen to?
That's what I rolled through. That's what I rolled through Beverly Hills in. White Chevy Impala.
Mine's kind of gunmetal gray, but we had when we went to Vegas, we had a Maxima, and that thing was fast. I mean, it was fun to drive.
Yeah, they're
this
fun.
One here is this was a dog.
That's why I like that. Yeah, driving through. We drove through Beverly Hills on the 4th of July, and so we're driving, up I don't know what Canyon Road or something like that. So there's people are all standing outside going into people's houses to have 4th of July parties, and this mom and this daughter out there, and I don't know how old the daughter was, maybe 8 or 9 or whatever. And there's right by their Range Rover, and there's a Maserati sitting there in front of it, and they stop and they look at us and they kind of slow down. And I slowed down. I was like, "What are they doing?" Or whatever. And then she reaches over and starts talking to her, and I told the kids, I said, "She just said, you're never going to see one of those again in your lifetime." That's I don't even know what kind of car that is.
I was going to say, what kind of car is that?
But you're never going to see.
Must be a new
I'm like, damn. That's funny.
That's what people from the Midwest drive, you know.
That's what people that rent cars drive that need to get it for $39.95.
Yeah, no shit.
So there is big news today, though. We're 2 days away from the beginning of the tour.
Good trip. I'm saying.
That went nowhere.
You guys locked up on me.
You're on mute there, buddy.
That's okay because Dennis was the one trying to talk.
Was he? I didn't hear him.
Well, he froze up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
That's because he's on that California Wi-Fi.
It's all free though. Free love, man. Everything's free in California. They tax the shit out of everybody who lives there, but hey, it's all free. That's a good thing. No, I said that the tour starts in 2 days.
Oh yeah.
The end of the road tour.
So I got to figure out, how do we not find out the set list or what the stage show looks like between now and March?
Turn off your internet completely.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out. I'll look. Well, basically, I could probably tell you what the song list is gonna be right now. Let me pull up last year's.
Benny Vincent thing. You got the Benny Vincent thing right. You're not gonna get that right. You don't get everything, man. Can't win them all.
I'm hoping it's really cool. I hope it is real cool. I don't care if I find out or not. I usually find out before anyway. You're not going to be that shocked. Trust me. You're not going to be shocked.
But I did see an article today that Gene and Paul invited Ace and Peter to play some dates if they want to play some dates, but not to be on the tour. So,
right.
Which is, that's appropriate. I don't have a problem. There's so many people that have a bitching problem with that. I don't have a problem with that.
I don't.
Those dudes left.
Well, Ace and Peter have only been out of the band for like 17 years,
Well, and honestly, this lineup now has been Kiss longer than any other lineup.
That is correct.
So let it go.
Well, the good thing is, if you're running late for the concert or you want to sit out in the parking lot and party a little bit more, you can, because they got a shitty opening act. What the hell are they?
How are they going to do that?
What, that dude is going to get booed off the stage. I mean, booed hard. I mean, I remember when Van Halen played in 1984 at the stadium. They had this band called the Velcros opening up. And nobodies. Everybody wanted to see Van Halen. People were throwing like coins and shit at this one dude. The guitar player had blood running down his forehead by the show was done. People were throwing shit and booing at him. I mean, this guy's going to get murdered. I mean, it's going to be bad. It's like, what are they thinking?
Well, I'm going to see him on March 12th, so I'm hoping that Paul's voice holds out that long.
Okay, we'll see.
Well, you're going, smart ass. You're going like in August, so shut up. He's not even going to have a voice. So
it ain't going to have. Yeah, he won't. Or that, or he'll have a really good fake voice. One of the two.
Well, I think he's going to have some help. I think is what I think is going to happen. I don't think he can.
I think so too. And whatever, it's going to be. When I go, it's just going to be a good time. I'm going to take it for what it is. I'm not going to sit around and criticize it. I'm just going to have a good time, listen to some tunes with you and whoever else shows up, and we have fun. Just kind of have a good time about it.
Are you going to not criticize that show, or are you not going to criticize the show at all?
I'm not going to criticize.
I just want to make you said it on recording, and I just want to make sure that.
I am honestly not going to criticize. I mean, it is the end of the road tour. Everybody is going to get out of it what they want to get out of it. There's going to be the haters. There's going to be the people that love it. Take it for what you want. I'm going to go just because it's the last time, and hopefully it won't be bad. And if it is, it is, and that's just the way it's going to be. So
I don't think it'll be bad.
No, the music's going to be good. I'm sure the show is going to be spectacular. I mean, they've never really disappointed on stage show, so I think that's going to be a gimme.
It's the biggest, it's the best one ever. It's the biggest show ever in the history of the world.
Since the Destroyer stage is the best thing since then.
We'll see.
Anyway.
Somebody's going to go live, I'm sure, in Vancouver at whatever time that'll be. 8 o'clock.
Oh, Julian will. Julian's going to that. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Julian's going to that. So he'll be live Facebook, I'm sure. So I'll be watching. What the hell?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I had anything else. I bought Trick or Treat album. That was pretty cool.
I saw that.
Fastway album, yeah.
Fastway, that was awesome. That's about it. I don't really have much else.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been traveling. I ain't had time for music, so.
let me throw out some shout outs real quick and then we'll get to the show.
Alan's chat outs.
Forgot about that.
Shout outs. What did I say? Chat outs.
You did.
Chat
Good
outs.
God.
It's all right. We all fuck stuff up here. All right. Bill Elam, Craig Osborne, David Cathy, Jay Sabluski, 80s Party for a Purpose, and G13 Record Label LLC. Thanks for sharing the Jason Herndon vinyl episode. And hey guys, let's talk to Tommy. Hey Tommy, how you doing?
Good. How you guys doing? What's going on?
Doing all right, man.
I hear you have an album that you're promoting.
Yes, I do. It's on my website, TommyParis.com. It's on all the streaming services where you can get it. There's no CDs right now. I did a run of CDs and sold them all. My son got me to get it online. And so he helped me do that. So once I got it online, it started going that route. And we do some shows. We'll have physical CDs again, but we don't right now. But yeah, so it's on my website, TommyParis.com, Paris, just like France. And yeah, it's cool. It's creeping around out there. The infrastructure of the old business model in the music industry is pretty much gone. So It's out there creepy crawling on its own. So
yeah, you're getting some airplay from Bo at Hairnet Radio. I hear the stuff on there every now and then.
Yeah,
sure.
Bo plays it.
Yeah.
Some other radio stations, some other web stations play it, and K-Bear in Utah plays it. Corey Draper from K-Bear, they play it, and I've known him since we were on the Bite Down Hard tour. That was back in like '92. So it's out there. But, the thing is, it's like online anymore. It's like there's so much more. I mean, it's an awesome medium to get music, but there's so much of it out there now that it's like everything comes along with it. But I think my son talked me into it. I was just selling CDs for a while, and I didn't even have it online anywhere. And my son talked me into putting it online. He said, you shoot yourself in the foot. He goes, you really got to like upgrade yourself and get out of your old school type of thinking. It's like, so I let him talk me into it because he's all about that stuff. He's like, he's 24, he's about to get married. And, he was raised around that stuff. I mean, for me, it was just, we came from the time we were listening to music. To learn a part from a song, we'd put the needle back on the record, let it play.
Oh yeah.
Again, put it back again. Put it back again. So it's like, yeah, it's like, so anyway, so I was happy to get it online. It was cool. He helped me do that. And so yeah, we're just letting it creepy crawl for now.
Well, Tommy, cool. It sounds like good parenting worked out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a good fella. Great, smart. If I have a problem, technical problem, I call him.
Yeah,
he gets tired of hearing from me. What now? Okay, yeah. Well,
say he's 24.
Yeah, he's 24. Yeah.
My son just turned 24 back in November, so I'm about the same thing. And like I said, he actually still lives at home. Kid doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, works every day. I mean, it's one of those. And like I said, got a technical issue. Go to him. I mean,
absolutely. Yeah, because they're raised around it. It's like it's nothing foreign to them. I had to you got to think about it. It's like we're all pretty much antique pieces, you guys, if you think about it. When it comes to when music, we were born, I'm going to guess we're all the same age. We were born when the Beatles came to America.
65.
I'm going to guess.
Born 65.
Yeah. Right. What about everybody?
66.
I'm the youngest. I was born in 70.
Oh, there you go.
Baby.
Carpenter had a nice album out that year.
So did the Guess Who.
I have that album actually.
But no, it's pretty cool, and I mean the changes are insane. When we were growing up listening to all this stuff, we were listening to an album and cassette, obviously pre-CD, pre-cell phone, pre-personal computer. They had them, but no one had them in their houses. Right. Pre-everything. I remember we got Atari Pong.
Yeah,
it's insane. Look at this. You can not only can you play the regular Pong, but you can play like Escape, where it's the opposite. The ball has to get out of the thing, and it's like, so yeah, it's just changed so much.
We watched a dot go from side to side for days,
hours,
weeks, months.
Yeah. And it was awesome. They're like, oh man, this is great. You guys have Pong? No. Oh man.
You guys are way behind.
I got 24 points, man. How many points did you get? Well, 24. So sad.
You guys had Pong, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You had the switch on the back. You'd hook it up to, I think it was to the antenna lead, and then
TV or switch. You had the
Yeah.
and you had to have a
Antenna,
screwdriver to put it
game.
on.
Yeah, antenna or game or whatever. Yeah,
Oh.
and so I mean, I'm still, everything's changed. I mean, it's never stayed the same really the whole time, but a big chunk has changed since probably the late '90s till now. Just a mountain of change, really. Up until late '90s, kind of still old school sort of structure with the music industry.
Right.
Although it was waning. Really about halfway through the '90s, the business models all changed, and they've been changing ever since, so much that it's like, the structure's kind of like the floor fell out. So everybody involved in music, putting music out, has had to rethink, well, how the hell am I going to do this? Where do I go to do it? There's still labels putting music out, but it's like, it's I don't know. You guys know what it's like. It's insane. It's like it's clogged.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's a mess, and like I said, these new people who are new people, kids who are trying to get their stuff out, and people who have had stuff out before are still trying to figure out how to get what's the best way to get it, out to the public. And they're going, like you said, social media, they're going YouTube, they're going this and they're going that through, the Spotify services, all that stuff, and like I said, in the day, the record companies were the ones that were, trying to figure out the money, way to milk the artist, for the money, for the things. Now,
really?
But the whole point is, I think now it's the ticket services who are taking over that position. Your ticket masters and your Live Nations, they're the ones that are doing the milking at this point,
And they've always taken, all the ticket companies always taken their fair share, but I think they're making a new art form out of it now. Yeah.
They've created a complete, I mean, it's just at some point 30 years down the road, we're going to see like this expose of like, can you believe what Live Nation and Ticketmaster did back in 2000? And you know what I'm saying? It's going to be like that, because it's going to be like they were so shady.
I mean, we kind of already know what they're doing, and it's like kind of like, hey, hang on, half a second. Hey, doggy, bring me a glass of water, please, but a tall one this time, okay? Not the little shit cup. Thank you. That's my other son. His name is Jude.
Oh, I was like, going, if you got a dog that does that,
I was like, we want to see that. Move the video.
Hey, let me ask real quick. We'll get back to him in a sec because he's coming with the water. But
sure,
my framing. I see you. Are you guys closer in the framing? Am I all right?
You're
framing?
good. You're fine,
you're
man.
Good.
I want to fall in line, you guys.
I'm way back. You're maybe a little close.
No, what it looks like on your screen right now, and
too close?
what you'll see on the video is a little different. You're fine the way you were.
Yeah,
you're fine.
Do you guys
Halen.
edit these together, or
No, we just go
It just
with
comes
it.
out.
They
What
don't
program
do.
are
They
you
don't
using
do
to cap-
shit. I do all the work.
yeah? That's how it always is.
Well,
You put in the work, they get the glory.
Yeah, I don't care.
They'll the glory. Yeah. Whatever.
No, I record this. I record the show with Skype, and there's a plug-in called Ecamm Call Recorder. I record that, and then I pull it into iMovie, and we just chop the show intro on, put the movie on, and then the show exit, and that's it. I don't spend 8 hours in post editing and cutting and chopping. Fuck that, I'm too lazy.
Thank you. Come around here real quick.
And the whole cool thing is too, like I said, most of the people just listen to it. Hey, there you go.
Dude.
Hey, what's up?
That's Jude.
Hey, Jude, how you doing, man?
Hello, Alan J. Tate. Hello, Bill Algie.
Hey,
Hello,
you
Dennis.
got my name right.
Did he really? Good.
Yes, he did. Awesome, Jude.
Thank you, Jude.
Thanks, dude.
He's a good
That's
fellow.
awesome.
Awesome.
So back to the editing.
Yes.
Now please forgive my ignorance here, but when you bring in the movie, it's an MPEG 4 or something, right? Something like that.
That is correct.
Okay. So is it already 4 pictures as a consolidated film?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The
So this program captures it.
Yeah, the call recorder program that I use captures it, and when I set it up, I have the option to do different layouts but the four
Okay.
side by side is the best layout.
Okay, cool.
And then he puts the
stacked and all
ghost.
funky on here, but whenever he gets done,
Yeah, he
getting the
does
layout,
it.
then it looks like it normally should.
It looks better. Plus, he puts like the little ghost thing of our thing on there.
Watermarks it so people can't steal our awesome interviews.
So let's talk. Tommy, let's get back to you. The last time you were on, you played a little snippet of a song. Is this part of the album that you put out?
Yeah, I don't think the song I played for you actually made this album. But
Oh,
it was,
really? It was kick ass. I remember that.
I think it was like was it kind of a fast song?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that didn't make it, but that was one of the ones that's working on. Yeah, it could have been cool.
So if that was, we thought that was cool. So if everything else made it, it must have been better. And
yeah, I mean, it was kind of. I had a ton of stuff for it, but then probably about 35 songs. I whittled it down to 10.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do.
Yeah, it's okay though. You know, that's why like a lot of people are talking about recording a song and putting it out. See, I'm kind of obviously old school, but I like recording. I like to have to record 10, and I like to have to write and record. Well, not record necessarily, but write more than 10. Sure. Because what happens is you think you have something cool, right? And then as soon as you have to whittle it down to 10, you have a different type of judging system. You know,
right.
You just record one song, there's nothing to judge against. But when you have like 30 some songs, it's like the obvious 10 are there. Then when you actually set out to record those 10, stuff happens, who knows why. And some turn out better than other ones, like some that you thought, oh, that'll be, you know, 6th or 7th and turn out to be really good. And vice versa. Something you thought was really great will turn out to be kind of lukewarm. Sure. So, yeah. Did
you do your own production and stuff on this one?
Yep.
Yep. You did everything. Did you do all? Did your band help, or was it all you for the record, and then you got the band for the tour or shows?
Yeah, no, I had some local guys help me out. I don't know if I was telling you guys who I was working with before, but there's a couple 80s bands, guitar players played on it. I can't credit them because of whatever they're doing with their contract stuff, but
gotcha.
They just didn't want to be credited. But if you listen close, you could probably guess who a couple of them are. But then I had some friends of mine. Kay Caruso played lead on Let It Bleed, or excuse me, not Let It Bleed, Ready to Bleed. Can't remember my own songs. And then Tony Lopez played lead on a few other ones. And so those guys played. And another drummer can't be credited, and bass player can't be credited. But I live in Las Vegas, so if you want to,
I'm gonna say you're still in Vegas yet.
Yeah, you can probably figure out who it could be. But anyway,
Brent Fitz and Todd Kearns.
They play on everything else. It's got to be on yours.
I'm not going to say, but yeah.
Could have been, might not have been, but could have been. Who knows? Anyway, but it was cool just to get this one done and be pleased with it. Really, it took a long time to mix. I was mixing it forever. Probably mixed it 15 different times. You know, mixed it, had it done right, getting ready to put it out. Like, I got to remix it. Like just zillions of times. Just finally parked on something I liked. I was really happy with, because there's so much out there that you hear that you want to at least keep the volume of your product as loud as other stuff, which has turned silly. Of course, I'm sure if you guys know, the whole volume wars. You guys heard about that with the master?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But so it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. So you want it to keep you don't want to have it too quiet compared to other stuff, but you also whatever. Anyway, so finally parked on something and got it done. So
right. So now, did you do all this in your personal studio, or did you mix? Is this all done on your own?
Yeah, I did.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. So I said it finally.
Yeah.
But no, I do. I like that, because you know what? The thing is, I love that fact of the fact of that you was able to put out an entire album yourself, do all the work yourself. You did all the stuff, and there wasn't no record company breathing down your back, giving you shit, making demands. This is where the creativity, I think, this should be the time where creativity should be fantastic. We should be hearing a lot of great shit, unfortunately. But I'm hoping that this will cause that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I mean, it's completely, it's like I said, it's somewhat of I know it's 2019. It's like, it's late in the game here, but it's still a bit to get used to. It's like, but in the past, for example, I could go way back, but we would always record in someone else's facility for X amount of money an hour. and then you have your master, and the studio's paid. That's all paid, and then the record company owns that exact master because you signed a deal for that. So I mean, it was a ton of money switching hands, and that's cool because that's how it was. But then as the studio equipment got cheaper and cheaper, and you could get a computer and recording gear for not too much, you still have to have a kind of a set of ears to do it. But you still have to employ some sort of skill. But the gear is so cheap now, you can do it. The hardest part is that to get a band to play together and be listening to each other and recording at the same time. These days, most people do it in separate parts. Like they'll do the rhythm track, say, and then everything else is overdubbed, and that's cool, because you always overdub stuff. But the idea, like in the past, my idea, like, and for next time, I want to do more of it. I didn't do enough on this one. I did enough where I was pleased with it, because you want to get some kind of magic happening between people that actually was recorded at the same time. But yeah, everyone these days kind of records just the rough, bad stuff, and they start overdubbing on top of it. So I like when the band's at least playing it together, even if they have to fix something. If five guys and all the tracks go down at once, including the singing, even if it's a scratch vocal track. If the drummer's playing, right, and he's hearing the singer sing his part, say, for example, or whoever, he'll play different when he hears the singing. He just does. It's just how it goes. If when you're just hearing a music bed and you're trying to lay the drum parts to it and you're not really sure where the vocals are going to go, you play different to that too. And I think it's more cohesive when everyone's hearing exactly pretty darn close to what the song is by the time you finish it, right when you're recording your parts. For me, it's just kind of old school, like way Rush band used to record that.
Yeah, you get a little more of an organic sound. I mean, it sounds more like an old record, or not an old record, but how they used to do records. It's not that whole thing where you can almost sometimes tell when they emailed parts back and forth or dropped it in Dropbox or whatever. It just doesn't feel that organic kind of thing. But yeah, there's definitely I would think it would bring out playing, like you said, drumming would be different, your playing would be different if you're all in a room together doing that versus off on your own in a room somewhere where nobody can see you and you're just kind of playing and then mailing it in. Not in
you're hearing like if you got earphones on and you're listening to a track, you're just basically listening to what the track is. But if you're in a room, musicians are like that. Like I said, you feed off each other. You start to get that vibe. You're looking at each other, and it's just, you can just feel that. I mean, Alan knows what I'm talking. We're musicians. You can do that. I mean, I'd rather much more play with people than I would with a track. I mean,
yeah, at least
with a track,
anyway,
I'll be bored. I'll be sitting here in my lounge chair playing along with a track. But if there's somebody else around playing with me, I'm standing up. I'm fucking getting into it, jiving, getting all my shit going on. But I think you get lazy if you're just doing a track. I think if you got other people around, it makes you step your game up. That's just my own opinion.
I agree. Yeah, you're on the spot a little bit more, right? You kind of like don't want to waste time. And
you're a dude. You want to shine, and that's the whole point. That's the whole.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling the guys in Count 77, like whenever I record, I've done enough albums where I've like just got it done, right? We had to get it done, and you can get it done. You can get anything done, but too many of them were that way. It sucks. It's like it was either a label or a management or somebody with a time frame where just it had to get done. So we recorded in some wacky ways, like ridiculous. One time we did the drums last, if you can believe that.
Wow. That's
which is
up.
Really
I'll click.
Yeah, it's really fucked up way to do it, but we had no choice. But yeah, it's like it's so stupid.
Well, I say when you got a label dictating what you got to do, and they say this is it, or you won't have it, you do it. That's unfortunate,
Yeah, that's how it was. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's how it was. So, but yeah, I was telling the guys in 77, like next, I just won't even record anymore unless I can do it exactly how I want, which is to have the band at least begin to play the tracks as a group. I don't want to just have one guy come in, another guy. It's like it's boring and pointless. I don't care about getting something done. I want to really like it anymore. It's just so that's one good thing that's come from the change in the industry is that you don't have to worry about you could do whatever the hell you want, but if it picks up, and people check it out, cool. If not, at least you're creating something that nobody had their hands on in a bad way. I don't mind having their hands on in a good way, but they haven't had their hands on in a bad way, So.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Count 77, what's going on with that band?
We're just playing shows. We're playing. Where are we playing in February? We're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at a car show on the 14th of February. That's our next show. Yeah, so we're just playing shows. We play locally at Vamped, which is Danny's club.
See, I could kick myself in the damn ass back in July. I went to Vegas for the first time, and me and my wife and my son, and we went with my in-laws. And of course, we took one day, we went out to Red Rock Valley, and then we went down to Prim and all that area. And then we took one day, went to Grand Canyon and stuff. We spent a few days in Vegas itself, and there was so much shit. I mean, it was just like you're inundated, and we had a couple of shows we were going to see, and Vamped was one of those places I wanted to go to. And I was thinking about, even because we had you on the show, I was going to try to figure out how to either, message you or something. But we were just, when you get to Vegas, there's just, you got a limited amount of time, and it's just like you're going, oh shit, now what do I do? It's just, it's just too much. It is for being there for 5 days. It was just, and then we were actually gone 2 of those days on side trips. So 3 days in Vegas, you can't do anything.
After you've been there enough times, you know what to just check off the list.
Right, but I'm saying that was my first time there.
Yeah.
So it was just like, me and my wife, we were driving down the strip going, well, we got this, and we got this, and we're just keep driving. Oh my God. You spend one day just looking at everything, just trying to figure out where the hell to go. But no, Vamped was on my list of places to go, and I didn't get there. So
how far is Vamped off the strip? Is it pretty far away?
Okay, do you guys know, you're familiar with Palace Station Hotel?
Yeah.
Maybe not. It's off of Sahara and I-15. Okay, so it's west on Sahara at Rainbow. That's where Vamped is.
Okay.
It's closer. It's closer to the interstate than it is the strip, right?
Yeah.
Because I would say if you turned off and you went, because at one point we went down to this one mall at the very end of north end of Vegas, and coming back, I was looking at my phone on the way. I was like, oh well, hell, Vamp's right there. Right closer to that part than we were over here. So yeah, it's a crazy town.
Did you have a Fremont Street experience? Is that what you?
We went to Fremont the very last night we were there, and we got up there, and this dust stormy kind of thing blew in. And I'm telling you what, luckily we got to where we got back to our car in time. We basically walked down and walked back and got to our car before this thing hit. And then time we got back to it, we stayed on the south end of a little bit down from the airport. There was this timeshare place we stayed at. But anyway, that night, it sounded like there was a typhoon going on outside. It was and actually my in-laws' car got their windshield busted there was one of these freaky wind things that blew up that night. Yeah. And, it was a mess. But anyway, we had a good time out there, but I didn't get to Vamp, and I didn't get to see you, or there was 3 or 4 other people I was going to try to look up. And
yeah, I know. You can't cram it in, not 5 days.
I did go to where Evel Knievel crashed, though. I did. I found the spot where he crashed.
Caesar's Palace. Oh yeah, got to see that.
Took forever to find somebody to show me where it was at, but it's right in front of Hill's Kitchen.
Is there like a monument there or anything? I've been to Caesar's Palace multiple times. Is there something there?
No, and it looks nothing like it did in the video.
Oh, no. It's all been redone.
It's right in front of Hill's Kitchen, because I talked to this lady. I was talking to these valet people, and the valet younger people are going, "Evil who?" Finally, there was this lady that was a little older than I was, and I said, "Look," I know you're busy, but I'm trying to ask this question. She said, "Hold on 1 minute." She said, "Stand over here." She come out and she said, "Okay, this is where it happened." She said, "We actually I was here. They turned the fountain off where he got married to his second wife at this place right here. Show me everything." I was just like, thank you so much. Because these other young people are going, "Evil who?"
I know.
Oh, you mean the guy that was here last week? That because it was just a couple weeks after that. Whatchmadudo come up here and jumped the opposite direction. But anyway, it was.
Yeah, the evil people will know he was flying a Mack truck. Basically, it was so heavy that bike he was using. It's like,
no shit.
And he broke everything. He's like, no, the shock sucked back then. The travel on him was like an inch. His back took so much shit from landing on those things. The ramps were like just. Basically there was no swoop to them at all. They were just straight ramps,
Right. So if you go to Caesar's Palace and you see Hell's Kitchen, about where you walk into Hell's Kitchen is about where he landed. That's the landing point right there. So
wow,
that's an information for it.
Kind of land.
I have to remember that next time I go.
Yeah.
Check it out. So tell me, is Brittany Fox doing anything?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
You're not doing anything with them anymore?
I'm not doing any, no.
All right. I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this new album. I'm going to sit down and listen to that actually right after we get off here. I'm going to look it up myself and I'm going to check it out.
Check it out, man. It's 10 songs. They're like 3-minute songs. So it's over in half an hour. It won't hog up a bunch of your time. They're nice.
So you're actually 2 minutes less than a Van Halen album.
An old Van Halen record.
32 minutes for
Love it. Yeah, I love it. So I'm not asking much of the listener to check out this album. It's like, just if you like it, cool. If you don't, that's cool because it'll be over with before you know it. So
that's what she said.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. It's kind of funny. He brought up the Van Halen thing, but it's funny. We did a Van Halen episode back months ago and quite a while ago, and as we were doing the prep work for the show, I'm like, we were all like, the albums are all 32 minutes. It was weird. Within seconds of each other. It was just bizarre. The first 4 or 5, and it was like, wow. I mean,
yeah,
there's not a lot of material there.
They never could have got a Bohemian Rhapsody on the record. I mean, never. There's never could have.
You guys see that movie?
Oh yeah, and it was awesome.
Twice. Yeah. I went twice actually, and it was.
Yeah,
and I'm glad to see that it's. Glad to see that it's winning what it's won so far. Hopefully Oscars. I hope he gets it. He actually graduated from college here in our town, University of Evansville. He graduated there with a liberal arts degree or whatever. So
that's
it's kind of
expensive liberal arts degree too.
You ain't a shitting. That's a private. That's
it's a private school. It's very.
It's expensive as hell. So anyway, he did well. And
I did see that they had a sing-along version of that. I was like.
Though I don't want to go to a theater and listen to a bunch of people sing Queen along with me. I know how bad I sound, and I've got 100 other people in there doing the same thing.
Singing the first time. I don't need the words to pop up there. If you're going to that movie, you know the words. But hey, I'm sure made him some more cash. That's really what it was all about. I'm sure of that.
Go ahead.
So you have a 24-year-old, and then how old is Jude?
12.
Well, so are those guys musical at all? Do they have any? Did you pass that gene on? Are they in a band or working on stuff?
Well, they both play piano and guitar, and so they have music in them. They both like electronic dance music, and my eldest son writes it, and he's really good at it. It sounds, it's not my thing, but when you put it in, he'll give me a CD of stuff he's working on, and you guys ever heard? Well, you guys know what electronic dance music they call it. EDM. Yeah. That's EDM. That's what the kids say.
Yeah, I have a 21-year-old.
I have a 22-year-old. So
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they're all about that. They're into it. But the way it sounds, you can marvel at how awesome the sounds are. That's what I do. At least productions are cool, and his are awesome. He's got a really killer ear for it. The low end, he does great low end work with the bass and everything. It's a lot of work to make it sound right without overdoing it and everything. He's got it dialed. So yeah, they're into it. They play piano and guitar, but they're both into EDM. So
cool.
So what older bands are they into? Not older bands, but the bands that we like. Are they into any of the 70s, 80s kind of stuff too? I mean, are they? My son's kind of, he's a big Queen fan. He likes Queen a lot. And but my son's kind of odd too. I mean, he likes. Odd. No, I don't mean it. But I'm saying he likes I mean, he plays because he plays a lot of these games too. So a lot of the video games, which I play Blackout. So I
like, don't act like you don't know what you're doing.
No, I know.
Play all the time.
I play Blackout. Trust me.
I didn't play his Black Ops. I
play Call of Duty Black Ops. But he plays this other stuff that these radio stations on these they're like these post-apocalyptic kind of things. So they play a lot of these older like 20s and 30s music. And he likes that stuff. He'll sit there, he'll be on his computer and he'll start listening to the he'll be playing that kind of shit. I mean, it's kind of odd. I mean, it's just, but I don't care what kind of music he listens to as long as you listen to music. That's fine with me. And so he's got a really eclectic kind of ear for music. But he does like, was it 3 Days Grace? We went and seen them, and Daltrey and a few things like that. But he likes just different stuff too, And
whatever you expose them to.
That's why I said, as long as you love music, I don't care what you listen to. Just love music.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of good stuff out there they're just not exposed to because it's so old. But like, I have the big band station on here during holidays, so I force everyone to listen to that, and then also I turn my kids on to Rush and Deep Purple and Carney, ELP and
right.
AC/DC and stuff like that. My youngest son likes AC/DC. They both like AC/DC, but I bought my son, last gift I bought my son was Rush, All the World's a Stage CD. My eldest son, name's Curtis, and he digs it. We marvel at how Geddy's voice sounded during that period. It just awesome. And my son's way into that. So yeah, and my youngest son likes Deep Purple. He likes Machine Head. So yeah, they like stuff. As long as you expose them to it, because they're not going to hear it much on the radio, And so, but it's out there to be heard. It's on Spotify. It's everywhere else as well. They just don't know it. There's no ads in their face for it, So.
The thing is, you got to find this. And the thing is, doing this show, we have people on and people make comments and mention bands. And I've learned about more music in the last 3 years doing this show than I've learned in a long time, of just people mentioning, hey, have you heard of this band, or have you read, seen this and that? And like you said, there's a plethora of stuff out there. It's just you got to find it, because like I said, radio's not playing it.
No.
So you got to go ahead.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry. I got a little bit of a delay, so I keep stomping you guys on your balls.
Oh, no, you're fine. Trust me. These are
it's like, sorry, I don't mean to. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I was listening to a YouTube channel, right? I have this kind of pointless YouTube channel. Check it out when you're completely bored and then really bored and next to wanting to kill yourself bored. Then check it out. But anyway, but I was on there. I was on there checking out some bands because I follow some sort of obscure things I've never heard of. And this other day, I can't even remember the name of it. It's in my list of stuff. And I put it on. I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. It sounded like a song. It was like a really short song. It was melodic. It sounded like maybe it could have come from the 60s or something. I was like, that's cool. You won't get traffic on it. But there's good stuff out there. There is. Besides the stuff that they shove down your throat with tons and tons and tons of money. And that's fine. But I mean, even less and less artists get the top money. There used to be always a top money, but then there was a sliding scale that sort of funneled down, into more artists. And now the top, I don't know, whatever percent, then there's a cliff, and that's it.
Yes, it's a cliff, right? You get this, and then poof. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. There's no sliding scale. We used to look for the crumbs, rolling down the hill and grab them. And now you're just hanging by some vines, there's none there. So.
But did you see that post? It was probably back 6 months ago, where Peter Frampton was talking about, "Baby, I Love Your Way" on Spotify. You got to check for. It'd been played like how many millions of times? You got to check for like $1,500. It's like
it was like 55 million. It was like 55 million downloads off of iTunes, and his check was like $1,500.
What a smack in the face! I mean,
well, did you guys hear about Steven Tyler and Frampton going to Washington and starting what's called the Music Modernization Act? Have you heard of it?
I heard about it. I actually saw something about it, but I didn't know what they were going for. So
yeah, it's all about royalties.
Yeah, I got that in my BMI weekly newsletter here a while back.
Yeah. So you read a little bit. They're trying to enact, to try to at least get the scales tipped a little bit fairer, because it's like, I mean, the stuff is just kind of robbed to a degree. And I'm not crying the blues. I love the technology, you guys. I do. I absolutely adore what technology has brought. It's really been freeing in so many ways. But at the same time, it's also been like, and you take a band, it's like people don't realize, it's like they don't realize what it takes for a band to go in the studio and, well, first of all, write the songs, and then go in the studio and record them all, mix them, master them, and have an actual full record, finished, complete. It's a lot of hard work. And
Right.
even though the band loves it, it doesn't mean it's just like absolutely completely free and you shouldn't have to pay for it. It's like, if you have a plumber come to your house and fix the toilet and whatever,
Right.
it's like you expect him to come over and do that for free. And I know it's music. It's like, oh, you do it for the love of the music. Well, of course you do. We wouldn't do it. But at the same time, it's like, it is a product. And it's like, I don't know. Hopefully that act will at least tip the scales a little bit.
But
I don't know.
musicians have been like that it's been since since the caveman. I'm a musician. I'm playing cover bands, from day one. I work. You play in a bar. They're making, have a great night, and they're hand over fist, and they're bitching about having to pay basically $100 per person to, for the guys that play music all night long. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, really?
Totally. I mean,
and how many people can you bring? It's like, no, I'm not bringing anybody.
Well, here's what it's like. It's like you go, hey, can I bring my cover band in? We'll play on a weekend or something. Okay,
Right.
cool. But we'll how many piece band? Yes, 5 piece. Okay, we'll give you $150, and you need to fill the place with 125 people, and you need to put out the ads, flyers, and stuff, and then also everything online. And then, you know what I mean? Like, it's just insane. It's like, well, if I did that, I'll just 4-wall a club and rent it out myself. It's like, what the hell? What are you doing? Besides provide the concrete building with the people in it,
Yeah.
like, what are you providing?
We played this place.
So,
we played this place one time.
just one place.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
No, go ahead, dude. I want to hear.
We're just watching you two step all over each other.
We're assholes. What can I tell you?
No, it's fun. It's just like I'm just waiting.
Yeah, but then, look at.
Go ahead, dude.
How about, I got a new idea. When I'm done, I'll just say over.
Okay.
Okay.
Roger. I'll say Roger.
That will be cool, like Vietnam or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Without the peyote and heroin. Not that I'm against it. Not that I wouldn't like some here between the four of us, but we don't. So let's just go with that. Okay. So anyway, there's a place in Nevada, south of Vegas, called Jean, Nevada. You guys ever heard of that? And then there's a place, Springs. It's called Bonnie Springs. There's a bar out there where this bikers used to go, and in the 50s it was still going. It was like all these 50s actors used to hang out there. Anyway, we actually played there once with a cover band, and this was mind blowing because this never happens. They offered us X amount to play. It was some cover band. I forget. Oh, I think it was a band I had. It was the drummer was a skinhead Nazi guy, and he was out of control. But anyway, but they hired us. But we played good stuff. But anyway, so I didn't condone that, but I got hired to play with them, so it was too late when I found out. Anyway, so we go play, and they offered us X amount of money, and then we could keep the tips and stuff, and they would give us 25% of the bar. Well, when we went to actually get the money, they actually paid us like a really good amount of it. I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me," because they never do, right? Oh, guys, the bar it was a tough, rough night, man. Didn't move a bunch of alcohol, so here's $17, you guys. Thanks, man. No, they actually paid. It was pretty cool, But yeah, so I think when I mentioned that the drummer was a skinhead Nazi type, it took all the air out of the room. Don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed, because I don't condone it. I wasn't down with it, but when I showed up, he happened to be that guy, and I certainly remembered him for that reason. It was very
the only thing we'll ever get picked up in all the episodes we've done is Blabbermouth will pick up that Tommy Paris played with a guy that was a Nazi.
Hey, if it drives traffic to the album, well, just for the record, if they dig deeper, I wasn't and am not a Nazi. He was.
There you go.
I did perform a show with him as the singer in the band that he was the drummer in.
You don't
God, there's
condone it. You don't condone it, but that's
Do not
the
condone
way it was.
so many jokes that could be made about a Nazi drummer, but I'm going to stop there.
Well, I'm sure they're funny. No, what I was going to say earlier was we played at a place one time, and it was like, basically we were going to make the door, and the guy said, "Okay, well, we're gonna you make whatever it is a door, and you have to supply the door guy, but if you don't, it's $50 for us to supply a door guy." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So we got this, this guy who was this drunk dude. I don't know if we ever got all of our money. I think he pocketed half of it, but it was like, I'm like, I'm not paying $50 to have you collect our money for,
That's a pretty rich
man,
fee.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
If you go back to
the
if you go back
stories.
to the Chuck Berry days, well, like when Chuck Berry was on Chess Records and stuff, you guys have read about some of the robbery that went on back
Oh
then,
my
right?
God.
Yeah, I mean, they would write themselves in as composers of some of those songs and saying, the record label. But it's funny about the door and yeah, I had so many stories like that. Just from day one, it's just like
Like really.
that's how it is. That's how it was. Like it was the only game in town. That's how they rolled, and you wanted to play, and so you would just deal with whatever. Okay, well that's how it goes. That was
And
a
I
part of the
always hated
business
the
model,
ones
getting
that
jacked at the door. So
Well, and then the guys who once you set up would change the offer. Basically this because nothing's ever written in contract with a cover band. It's always basically handshake, talking on the phone. Then you get set up. It's like, well, I told you this. It's like going, what am I going to do? We're here to rock. We got people here, so luckily we weren't doing it for the money. We just did it for for the.
So have either one of you ever had a deal where you got there and the I don't know, bar owner or whatever tried to change the deal and you just went, nope, not doing this, and pack your shit and leave?
No,
Alan, you've done that?
I have.
I have.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't done that, so I
Wow.
played anyway.
I could see me doing that because I'd be like, no, we had a deal. You're not going to hold up your end of the bargain, dude. I'm out. Have a nice one.
Well, we
we started doing that. Go ahead, man.
One time, one of the bands that I was in, we packed the place, and they sold out of alcohol before our third set even started. Completely out of alcohol. And at the end of the night, the guy was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay you guys. I'm like, don't even pull that shit. I've watched you sell every fucking beer in this building.
I love it. It's so insane. How about this one? Well, there's so many stories. I'm just going to pin it down to a couple relating to that one. But you would have a club owner who would mysteriously disappear about an hour before it was pay time. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the time. That happened all the time. Where's Eddie? I don't know. He was here a while ago. Everyone's covering for him. He'll be back. Don't worry about it. And never shows up. So you packed up and you got to leave. And, anyway, there's that one. And then eventually along the line somewhere, and I don't know, because I've been playing gigs since probably, sweet Jesus, 76. So between then and now, somewhere along the line, we'd pull up to a gig and the shit would stay in the trailer or the bus or whatever. And they'd go in and get the deposit for half of the pay. And then we'd start setting up. Otherwise, we wouldn't even set up without the deposit. And then before we would actually start the show, they'd pay the rest. So we just started doing that at some point. And it seems like, oh, you guys are assholes. You should be playing for the love of it. Well, of course we play for the love of it, but we got a bunch of gear out here and we're ready to play. And it's like, it's a contract as well. It wasn't just a hey, you want to come play? Sure, it's a contract. So yeah, at some point we just started not even putting the gear in there. They just said no.
So
I remember a few times
so the gas wasn't love to get you there.
No,
I mean,
no, not quite.
So
that's
we played.
That's insane. I mean, like your point earlier, you don't have somebody come to your house to repair something and you're just not going to pay them. I mean,
Yeah.
That's insane. But I know that happened. I mean, I've had other buddies of mine that's happened to. I don't get it. I don't get why people think that's all right, and it's just so shady. I mean,
Bill and Alan, do you remember at Wally's place on Fulton?
That was
It
before
was an
my
old
time.
bar. It was one of those little corner bars. We got a gig down there one time when we were in college to play, and we basically negotiated for a case of beer. Now we're all 18, 19 years old. So we play this gig, and it's like, and the guy's like, "You guys are too," and we're playing Saxon and Iron Maiden and shit. He's like, "You guys are too fucking loud. Fuck you guys. Just get out of here." And his brother was there, and he was actually a lawyer. He was just become a lawyer or something. A drummer's brother. He's like going, "You promised these guys a case of beer, and you're gonna give them a case of beer." So here he gave us. We couldn't stand inside of the bar. We had to go out during break, but we still got our case of beer from this guy who hated us. It was like, that was great.
It's good to have a lawyer around.
Yeah, no shit. It's like, I know you made a deal with these guys for a case of beer, so you owe it to them. So.
They will have their case, and if you go past this particular hour, it'll be a case and a half. So
awesome.
Just like
So Tommy, you gonna be out and about playing this album with your band?
I'm not sure. We did one gig with Lynch Mob. We opened for Lynch Mob, and
Awesome.
and then as I was telling you guys, the infrastructure in the business has changed so much. It's kind of like the business model's fallen out. So we'd been toying around like for the last bit of time, trying to put something together to take it out live, and it's just right now it's not lucrative. The way the agencies are working right now, and a lot of things, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like a clean slate now with Brittany Fox, we had some notoriety as far as that goes, but not quite enough to base an entire new band on and go out and play some of those tunes or whatever. So we were going to do maybe that, play some of that stuff and then play the new album, but it wasn't working out business wise. We just couldn't do it. So maybe record a new record down the line and try it then. But so nothing solo right now, no solo touring in the foreseeable future. Ideally, that's what I like to do. If it has to be after the next record, say, that's fine, but it's got to make sense. It's really a bitch to, you guys know full well, to get an entire group out and get them to gigs, and it's just it's a massive network that's kind of gone now, pretty much.
You have Kiss going out on tour that doesn't have a opening band yet.
I think they do. They announced some openers for the band, for the Canada thing. I forget what it says. I don't know. The guy's last name starts with a G.
If you can't even say
no,
it.
the guy's I can't say it. It's like Gibraltar or something like that. And
see the art
Dave or something like that. I don't know. I just know they announced it today.
Tom, you get a hold of Paul and just say, hey, we want to open up for you in the States. So there you go.
We'll do it for the love.
They would have. Yeah,
we'll do it for a case of beer.
I was just gonna say, what they do is buy-ons. You guys know what those are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You buy your way into the tour. Yep.
So maybe for $250K, we could open for about 3 or 4 shows. That'd be cool.
And that'd be fucking crazy. That's just fucked up. Say, hey, we'll do it for the door and for a case of beer, and we'll be there. Per show. And we need a case per show, not just for the whole tour.
Not just one show. Every show, Paul.
Every show, Paul. We need a case of beer.
You'd be better off asking him to make you a gourmet dinner and a case of beer. Because he's like this.
And paint me something. And paint my house.
And paint
my house. I don't care about a painting. My house needs one color.
Yeah, they'll let me paint their house to open for them.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
So, as I say, it's equally freeing that this business model is gone in enough ways for me to be more pleased that it's gone than not. Even though, because I was still tippy-toeing around with the truth is, it's like, I loved being in Brittany Fox. I'm proud of some of the stuff that we did, and we toured a shitload, and it's awesome and everything. But it's also kind of, the idea was, when Dean left the band and I replaced him, we did Bite Down Hard. This was 4 months apart from when Nirvana's Nevermind came out. So I was kind of like the last guy to the party for the late 80s thing. So that happened industry-wise, but the idea was to make Bite Down Hard and then maybe get a mild hit or two off of it. So then we'd play, say, Girl School, Long Way to Love, Dream On from their second record, maybe a couple others, whatever. And then some of the shit off of Bite Down Hard, like Louder, and we got the stuff that we got a little bit of play on, right? But then the idea was to go back and make the fourth record and then get a couple off that. So eventually we'd have a library of shit to play from Well, we got flash frozen at Bite Down Hard because of Nirvana and the whole grunge thing. And I understand why the late 80s thing had to extinguish itself. Trust me. I mean, I totally get it. It was completely out of control. It had to go. I understand. I just happened to be the last guy invited to the party. But so anyway, so what happened was we got stuck with the catalog of music. We could have had a song or two off every record if we'd done enough by now. I mean, if you look at my discography on my website, there's a few records in there, but it's all it's all over the place. It was never like the whole steady, because in my mind, I joined this successful group, see, and then we're make a new record, which was killer, and then we'll get a little airplay off a couple songs. So we'd make this library of music, and then make a fourth record, and then make a fifth, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, oh shit, yeah, I'm on my way. We're rolling now. But it didn't happen, as you guys know. It was the nuclear holocaust from Nirvana set the nuclear bomb off, and so we got a little bit. We toured a bit off Bite Down Hard for about a year and a half or so until that was all pretty much done. But anyway, so that was the goal. So right now it's like to keep. I don't know. I've had a toe in the Brittany Fox pool since I joined them in '90. Because there were opportunities there to go tour and stuff, and I love touring. So I was like, well, maybe we could tie in, a solo record and go play some of that stuff and go out. And now it just seems pretty much just completely severed. There's probably no way to actually do that. So I've had to kind of do it about face and kind of rethink everything, which, as I say, it's fine. It's totally cool. But I really did give that some the good old college try to see if I could marry both those things, this new record and some of the stuff from the past, and get out on some of these festivals and stuff like that. And I mean, we got a few gig offers here and there, but it just wasn't enough to bother, So it's
one thing I do like though, Tommy, is your attitude. I mean, as far as like you just said, here I put out this album, blah blah blah, and we'll do what we can with it. But then I can write more and do that. You said you had a shit more songs anyway. You had to cut it down to 10. The thing is, you're not giving up. You're just going to keep fucking putting shit out there till it hits, And I like that. I really appreciate that. We all appreciate that. Because if we don't, we're not going to get any good music. We're not going to get any good new music, if people stop trying. So,
well, see, that was one lesson I learned early on. I had some buddies. Do you guys, let's see. Okay, you guys remember Jefferson Starship, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. The guitar player, Craig Chiquiso, I'm not sure how you say his name.
Yep.
He started a band on the side called Big Bad Wolf. You guys ever heard of that?
Right. I remember that.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, they did. Well, anyway, they got a friend of mine, Rolf Hartley, Hartley. The first name's Rolf, and he lead singer, killer singer. He's a friend of mine. I recorded on some of his stuff back in Chico, California, back in like '84, and I met him and stuff. But awesome singer, just really high pitched voice like Mickey Thomas, and just a phenomenal singer. And I learned so much hanging out with him and stuff. And it's just like, we'd go back and forth. He liked stuff about my voice, but I'd like stuff about his voice. And I'd be like, he'd compliment me on my voice. I'm like, are you nuts? It's like, he's just a fucking monster singer, right? Killer singer. Anyway. Long story short, he went in that band with Craig, and they were playing some Starship stuff, and they had written a record or two. What point was I making, you guys?
About people continuing on and not giving up.
Yeah, but I don't remember the ending.
Man, I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that.
Sounds like Alan Tate telling a story now.
Yeah, I'm serious. I had why did I bring up Rolf?
We're talking about.
I got it. I remembered. Okay, I got it. Here we go. Roger. No.
Over.
No. So I go. Okay. Oh, so he wrote songs too. I played on a lot of his originals, but he had this thing where, at the time, not later, but during the time I knew him, he would never finish a song he'd finish a song, but he'd never mix it and put it in a group of stuff and put it out. He would always either rewrite or write new stuff, and then he would build up this a ton of material. And then I'd be like, why don't you should finish that, Maker. He goes, I could do better. I go, I know. And for sure. I mean, you could always do better. But if you never park on something, you don't put it out and live with it and live with everything about it that you like, but everything you hate, you kind of can't learn and then do a better record ever. Cause it's like, you don't like park on your what you did and then live with what you hate about it. Cause I always end up pretty much hating most everything I've done except this recent record. That's like, I'll actually, which is rare for me, I'll actually put it in the car sometimes and listen to some of the songs on it. Kind of like it's not like I had nothing to do with it. Like, it's really bizarre. For me to like something that I've done like that is absolutely incredible. Just insane. And I'm not saying, oh, I did it, awesome. I'm just saying, like, I generally hate, there's maybe one song from all those records I've done that I'll tell someone to put on for like Britney Fox, whatever, and that's it. And the rest, I'm just like, and thankfully people like it, a lot of it, but I'm like, I can't even, I don't even listen to it. Can't even, but for me to still like something is insane. But like I said, if you don't park on something and then move on and put your stamp on it and go, that's the best I can do today. That's it. That's all I got. Right. And then you'll never make the next better one. You know what I mean? Like, so me and him used to argue about that, but he started doing it and he started doing stuff with Craig and everything. But yeah, it's like, you gotta live with your horrible things you did to make it better. You know?
Exactly.
Well, before we get out of here, Tommy, pimp your website one more time.
Okay, it's TommyParis.com. Paris, like French, TOMMYPARIS. All the shit's on there. It's on all those serving the what do they call it? Streaming sites.
Spotify and all that.
Yeah, all that stuff. And then there's other stuff on there, links, this other thing. Plenty of stuff to click on and do things with.
Awesome.
Click and do this.
Click and do stuff.
Whatever.
Designed by.
Whatever you like, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Hey man, thanks for being on. It's been cool.
And
Great
hang out
chatting
for a
with
little
you
bit.
again.
Hang out when we get out of here. So
Thanks for having me on, you guys. I appreciate
not
it.
a problem. Oh,
Alan is muted.
He's muted. He's muted.
I am not muted. You just guys are dead.
Yeah.
That was funny.
He's on mine.
We should let him go through the whole thing before we should. Go ahead.
That's not the first time I've muted myself.
Do that again, Alan. Take us out of here.
If he did that, see, we couldn't overdub like a different voice over him because he's the one doing all the tech stuff.
Yeah, we can't. That would be great, though.
Well, yeah, just put Christopher Walken's voice over his or whatever.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks again for coming on the show. I'm glad we didn't scare you off for not coming back or anything. And
it's all good.
folks, y'all know, visit us on agesofrock.com. Check out all of our social media links there. Stitcher Radio. Check out our replay every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern on 195theglobe.com. And until next week, peace out. Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.